You are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. General Collins. So last year, Missile Defense Agency proposed termination of the SM-3. And months after that termination recommendation, that missile was used in defense of Israel against ballistic missiles. So based on the recent combat experience with the SM-3, and I am not sure exactly what the number of rounds that were fired, but is there, what is the current plan for the SM-3 going forward? Has that plan been reevaluated?
Thanks, Senator, for that question. Certainly, in last year's hearing, we certainly talked about the decision, the fiscal decision that was made to terminate the SM-3 Block 1B line. And since that, you're very right, it has been a workhorse in the Eastern Mediterranean, protecting the citizens of the State of Israel. As we now are planning with the increased focus on missile defense of the homeland and missile defense in general, the future decision space within the SM-3 program is being relooked at as part of the deliberations for Golden Dome and as well with the President's budget that's in development. What I would also, though, say is through a number of supplementals, we do appreciate the support that has come through supplemental funding that has come back to replenish the SM-3 1B lots that were expended in the Eastern Med. And we will continue to track that very closely with both the Block 1B and the Block 2A as we move forward.
Do you know how many rounds were fired? SM-3 rounds?
I do not have the latest, but it is in the dozens.
And there hasn't been, the SM-3 line has not been shut down at all. So it sounds like, in fact, the rate of production has increased.
The rate of production is still continuing. We are still in the midst of, we still have FY24 and FY25 plus the supplemental funding that still will go on contract before the end of this year. So that line will still remain open for years into the future. It takes a few years from beginning to end to get those rounds out. So the decisions, the funding decisions, though, are here and now to make sure we continue to keep that line open and viable as we move forward.
Go back to last year when the decision was made to terminate production of SM-3. What was the plan for the follow-on missile that would perform the duties of the SM-3?
Sir, there wasn't a plan set forward on a replacement for the SM-3 1B. It was to rely more on the Block 2A line, which is a larger, more expensive missile, but the quantity production rates were lower for that missile, but that was the decision.
Right, General Rasch, appreciate all the work you and your team have done on the Guam defense system. I'm interested in hearing any lessons from Guam defense that can be applied to Golden Dome as we come up with a plan. I know the study has been, well, the timeline for the 60-day study is complete, but anything that informed that study from Guam defense?
Senator, thank you for your question, and absolutely lessons learned. Guam, being part of the homeland, provides a lot of the same challenges that we will have here at CONUS. Interagency cooperation and coordination will be required. We've certainly learned that on Guam, so it's not just a DoD venture, it's bringing in the whole of government as far as site locations, environmentals, everything that we have to do there, and have certainly shared that across with the teammates as they're thinking about the Golden Dome challenge. The other area that I believe is significant is the integration of our command and control systems. You know, our services have typically fought the air missile defense threat as stovepipes, and so our work to do that level of integration for at least the land piece of those systems from the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and Missile Defense Agency to start the integration of that will absolutely should be a model or at least a starting point for how we take on the bigger challenge of developing an air missile defense capability across the entire continental U.S.
And Ms. Jaffe, on the 60-day study, I know the report has gone to the White House. I don't know if the President has signed off on it yet. It doesn't sound like it. But I want to just hear if you can speak to what kind of preliminary activities have been accomplished, and anything you can say about what you've discovered in the 60-day study.
Sir, thank you. I think I can say broadly, as you know, this executive order really challenged the department to take this integrated approach in a really unprecedented way that would require the breaking down of silos to be successful. When it came into the building, our office, the Office of the Secretary of Defense, joined with joint staff to bring together all of the stakeholders and start working on different design options. We matured them to a place that the technical experts took over and really refined them into a few different options to bring to the Secretary. My understanding is the Secretary of Defense and other department leaders have engaged with the President, and the hope is that there will be an announcement soon, certainly tied with the budget. There was certainly a breadth of options looked at that tied the new and potential ways to accelerate developmental capabilities to get some demonstrations with the existing capabilities so that we can have an integrated layered system.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Kelly. Senator